KREM 2 News at Noon begins now.
We want to make sure that we are doing things in a safe and compliant manner.
Some pushback, growing concerns over a plan to transport thousands of gallons of toxic waste right through Spokane. Why the mayor is now pushing back.
And our weather conditions look perfect yet again today, but we're tracking a couple cool mornings for this weekend before some even warmer days for the start of fall.
Plus, we have so many events around the Inland Northwest this weekend. Brendan T. Jones will join us with the latest on the Spokane Dahlia Festival as they prepare to celebrate the beautiful flower harvest. Hi, everyone. It is so good to see you. Welcome to KREM 2 News at Noon. I'm Laura Papetti, and we begin by talking about, of course, weather. Everybody wants to know about the weekend. So we're going to turn to meteorologist Thomas Patrick. And Thomas, what a day it's been so far.
Yeah, this has been another perfect day, Laura. Maybe just a degree or two cooler today compared to yesterday, but we will take that. Again, the sun is out. I'll tell you what, there is like one cloud in the sky and it's like perfectly blocking the sunshine above my head. And now it is passing. As you see, it's getting brighter already. There it is, just the completely clear skies across the northwest. But here's this very weak cold front. Passed through pretty quietly last night. Obviously no rainfall from this, but just enough to trim off a degree or two from our high temperatures today, but definitely enough to push temperatures quite cold for tonight. And I want to emphasize that this is now cold enough to give us frost on the ground for our northern areas. This is a freeze watch across our northern quadrant of the Inland Northwest. That's areas from Deer Park to Athol and northward. So anywhere in this region could get down to 32 degrees for tonight. I think upper 20s would be a bit of a stretch for this evening, but it's definitely not an impossibility. I can tell you that sometimes our computer model will underestimate that corridor. Here are those forecasted lows for Saturday morning. 34 in Deer Park to 36 in Sandpoint. Just a shade better in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, where it will be about 40 to 42 degrees. Probably no frost on the grass here for tomorrow morning. But it will be chilly for the morning hours this weekend, but we're right back into summer for the week ahead. So we'll show you this weather pattern that ebbs and flows for these next 7 days, all coming up in a few minutes.
Thomas, thank you. WashDOT and Spokane County Public Works will be working on several projects that will be impacting Hatch Road to Hamilton Road beginning this weekend. The county says it will begin paving the road Saturday morning for the Hatch Road project. Then starting on Monday, WashDOT says there will be overnight closures of the US 395 and Hatch Road ramp. And we have a full list of detours and different impacts that's posted right now on KREM.com. And we are learning some new details about a plan to transport nuclear waste through the heart of downtown Spokane. City leaders are already speaking out against the idea. KREM 2's Christian Garza has more.
Officials say this is actually a demonstration project called the Test Bed Initiative, which includes moving pre-treated waste in liquid form from Hanford to approved disposal facilities in both Texas and Utah. Spokane Mayor Lisa Brown sent a letter Wednesday to state and federal leaders detailing her concerns about the 2,000-gallon shipment, saying if the trip is successful, there could potentially be more trips in the future. Spokane Director of Communications and Marketing Aaron Hutt explains why this is concerning for the future of the city.
Our concern is that it's extremely dangerous. There's high risk involved. We're right on an aquifer. Our river runs right through the center of town and poses a pretty significant risk to our city.
Also in the letter, Mayor Brown says this new route through Spokane is only on the table after partners in the state of Oregon and the Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla Indian Reservation raised community concerns.
We emphasize safety.
Hanford site spokesman for the U.S. Department of Energy, Ed Dawson, says that this exact process happened back in 2017. However, the amount that was shipped was 3 gallons versus the now 2,000 that they want to move.
I think the bottom line is that we want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence. We want to make sure that we are doing things in a safe and compliant manner all throughout that process.
The city of Spokane, the state of Oregon, and the Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla Indian Reservation tell us they would feel safer if the toxic waste was turned into a solid in the Tri-Cities and then shipped to wherever it needed to go, versus keeping it a liquid during travel. However, Dawson says that the Department of Energy is working on figuring out different ways to get this toxic waste out of Hanford to give as many different options as possible in the future, as instructed by the U.S. Government Accountability Office. Dawson says the waste is expected to be treated by the end of this year and transported sometime next year via trucks in government-regulated totes. All of the Pacific Northwest leaders speaking up about this demonstration project are saying the same thing. They are fully supportive of getting the toxic waste out of Hanford. However, they don't support it coming through their respective communities in liquid form. Dawson tells me that a planned route for this 2,000-gallon project has not been finalized just yet. Christian Garza, KREM 2 News.
Ready and waiting. That's what the U.S. Postmaster General says. The Postal Service, they say, is ready to deliver the nation's mail-in ballots. He did hold a news conference listing what he calls extraordinary measures that will begin in October. And those include designated lines for people with ballots, extra deliveries, and after-hours drop-off to election offices. He also announced USPS processing facilities will be open on the Sunday before Election Day. So talking about elections, a reminder for Idaho voters to check your voter registration well before Election Day. According to our news partners at the Coeur d'Alene Press, some voters in the state have gotten notices challenging their voter registration status. So this happens when absentee ballots or polling location notices are returned to election offices as undeliverable. To check your status or to register to vote, visit voteidaho.gov. The deadline to register online is coming up October 12th. A piece of history in downtown Spokane. It's getting a little bit spruced up. A look at the renovations at the historic Davenport Hotel ahead of tonight's big opening.